14 and 15 year model Ford Fiesta STs. This one in my vehicle has the Sony My Ford Touch. So we're going to be installing a rear camera that I bought off eBay. Cost on it was either $20 or $25, right around there. And it comes with a rear camera that takes place of your license plate light. And of course you get your power as well as your main cable that you're going to be running. We're going to be hardwiring it right into the factory harness, so that way there's no adapters necessary. So I had to pick up some of these wire connectors to go inside the connector to replace the factory ones, because they're not being used in the STs because that was not an option. Please excuse the mess of the car, but we will be running it up into the cover here. So we're going to have to remove the cover. The wire is going to be ran down and underneath in here, and it's going to run straight to the back. So it's going to keep on going. And it's going to I'm going to have to remove this to tuck the wires in there. And the wires are going to come up into here. I'm going to tap into the reverse light to power the reverse camera when I do put it in reverse. And then I'll have to run the wires up through here. And I believe it was the thicker one that has all the main wires that go into it. So that way we can get up into here, which is going to be the hardest part of the job because I need to get to that. So I'm going to remove one of these, and that's where the rear camera is going to snap into. So it's going to be a long job, and it's definitely going to be worth it. One other thing that, or I should say rather two other things you're going to need. So you're going to need a laptop with FORScan attached, downloaded, to the laptop, and you're going to need the ELM327 connector in order to get into the computer. That has to have medium speed data as well. So high speed data only will not apply for this. So you'll need those couple other things. Total cost that I have into this here is I think about $30, maybe not even, maybe it's actually less than that, but just to give you an idea. So the data cable was an additional $30. So I mean, if you think about a total cost, you may be in like the $70–80 range. So I'm not going to show you me actually running the cable, but I will show you some bits and pieces of what you have to do throughout this installation. Alright, so I just started, of course, as you can tell. Took all of the things off the back here. I also took the trim piece off of here, and I peeled back the little boot here, so that way I can slide the wiring right up and inside here without having to drill any holes. So, and it comes right out right here. I know it's really hard to see, but that's the harness that it comes back to. So, and what I also grabbed is I grabbed some of my mechanics wire, because one, it's bendable, it's easier to use than a coat hanger personally, and it's also going to help because I still have to take my wiring and I still have to get it to go down all the way inside here so I can get to the bottom. Not only that, I still have to run the wiring down and inside the car. So it's still going to be, some fun. This is probably one of the hardest parts of doing really the install, is actually getting it through the rear tailgate here. So I just wanted to show you what I plan on doing, without drilling any holes. Some people have drilled a hole, but I'm trying to avoid that route because I don't want to ruin my beautiful car. So I'm going to do that and see where I end up. Alright, so now I've gotten the wiring all set up. You have to push the new camera through first. On this one here, I did have to shave a little bit on a little tab that springs open that locks it in place. Made it go on a little bit easier because it was a very tight fit. But you got to make sure you snap the camera in first before you run the wire. And as you can see, of course this factory tag is still there. But I was able to fit all the cables straight through the hole without having to drill any additional holes. As for the other license plate light, I haven't yet determined what I wanted to do with it. So, but for the time being, at least, I'm just going to tuck it inside here, and I'm not going to bolt the rear panel back on just yet until I figure out what I want to do, because I don't want any corrosion or anything getting inside the socket and causing it to have any issues later on. So for the time being, I'm just pushing it up in there, and I'm just going to have to push this back in place to snap it in place, because I'm still not officially finished with it. So at least this way it'll hold itself in place. And there's the review camera, looking pretty snazzy. Although maybe I should move it to the other side. But either way, it does look pretty nice. So we're going to leave it for the time being. It does look very good, just like that. And if I were to move it to the other side, it's a lot of work. Damn it, I should have moved it to the other side. Well, the LED light, hopefully it's bright enough, because I don't want to do it right now. Anyway, so there's the wiring. I still gotta tuck it up inside here to move it down. So that's the next thing I'm gonna move on to. Alright, this is worth recording just because of how long it took me, probably a half hour to get this wire from all the way up in here all the way through this little channel straight out. So I use my mechanics wire, as you can see, and it's linked there in the middle, because the first one I shoved through, I started in here and it came right out here, and the other one I put in through the top to kind of feed it down. I was able to see the wire through the little hole here, so I grabbed another piece of mechanics wire, made a little hook, was able to retrieve the other wire out of here, and I was able to join the two together right here, and I was able to connect them. And it took me a little bit of finessing, carefully of course, because I don't want all this hard work to go for nothing. So I was able to get it to here, so now I should be able to pull it through. Again, this is probably one of the most frustrating parts of the install, and I'm finally 70% done with pulling it through. I still gotta run the wire still through here, but that shouldn't be as much, because it's a much shorter distance. It shouldn't be that much of an issue to get it through from A to B. Done just getting it through here, coming it down on the inside here, and then really it's just kind of run it down and straight through. So I thought it would be worth recording this, because yes, that was probably one of the hardest parts of it. Alright, now I have successfully ran it through and got it through the conduit here, and careful of the goopy stuff that's all along here, because you have to pull the trim just back just enough so you can get underneath it to retrieve it. And all I'm going to do is just lay it on the inside along the back here, like so. And then of course the plastic trim pieces that are along the side here, this is where it's going to be much easier, because it's really just kind of taking these down and then running the rest of the wire all the way up to the head unit. So the next hardest part is probably going to be around the head unit, especially I do have to remove the cover for it. So, but yes, I know there's still some incomplete component wire just kind of sitting here, but you know, most of this is, you know, this is the power for, you know, the camera. So, and then that's really all the wire that they give you for it. So I'm gonna figure out maybe what's the best course of action, what I should do as far as powering the camera up. But the actual camera feed wire has been ran through the tailgate. Again, it's not an easy task, but was able to finally do it. So now the easy stuff, removing some of the trim panel along the doorway, because that's where I'm going to route it. Some people may just want to keep it above the headliner. Hey, to each his own. There's plenty of wire. Friggin', I got like another 15 feet probably, to go to the front of the car. So there's plenty of wire. So that's what I'm going to do. And back at it now. Alright, so inside the car, rather than taking that side panel off, I actually ran it along the side here, up where it meets the headliner, until it got to the door jamb, and then I ran it right down, because there's a lot of gap you know, right inside there, that the wire is easily able to go right in, so it's actually already behind it, and I didn't even have to pull anything off. So the bottom here, the bottom panel, I'm going to have to take off so that way I can transfer it down into here and to keep it going. I'm going to see if I can actually just tuck it underneath these panels, but this one I'll have to get off at least to get it from this side of this panel to the other side and see where that leads. Alright, so maybe I partially lied about having enough wire. This kit did come with a good length amount of wire, and before I go and pull the radio out, I just wanted to show that this is all you get left out of all that wire. I really thought it was going to be enough. Maybe going straight across the headliner maybe would have been enough. However, that's still fine. I can still extend the wire and still make it work over to here. So I'm not at a total loss, but I thought there was enough wire when there really kinda almost really wasn't, even for such a small car, you know, such as the Fiesta. If the manufacturer would have added about 2 more feet of wire, it probably would have been perfect. But it's okay. I'm gonna go rip the radio out, because I'm gonna have to get to the excuse me. Gonna have to get to the connector that's still inside the radio, and I'm gonna have to extend so a little tiny bit of wire, not even 2 feet. But, and not only that, gives me a chance to see if it actually works once I get power running to it and everything. But not bad, not bad at all. 2 more feet and it would have been beautiful. But it's okay, no worries. Alright, so now I was able to get the My Ford Touch taken out, which is this glorious piece of automotive technology. As we can see, get a little bit more light there. So the big large black connector is in there, and then this other black one just had a quick squeeze. The little one had a little squeeze connector. You just push down on it and then it would pull out, no problem. As for the big one, I had this guy in it, and for this guy, when it's all the way here, you need to depress the center here before it allows you to swivel it over, which then just unlocked it. Now this is only part of it. As you can tell, here's the actual piece right here, and to release this out of there, it has 2 little things right here. You gotta depress them both at the same time, and then the connector just slid right out. So that's what we're down to. So looking pretty good so far. I'm gonna go scavenge up for some more wire, because I know it's starting to get dark, and at least I'm trying to get all of the hard to do parts done faster before it gets dark, because you know, once it's just doing the computer part, that's the easy part. So this is all the hard stuff, and things are going pretty smoothly, and I already have the pins that go in there. Some people say that some of the computer pins will actually work inside here as well. I can't verify that. I just went and ordered the pins, you know, online, and then I had them shipped right to the house. So if you happen to have an old computer laying around, you very well may be able to just borrow those, you know, right out of there, instead of having to purchase them. And if you do so, then they're only like 20 cents a piece, I think it was, but to have them shipped was like $5. So you know what I mean? If you have something laying around, you might be able to just kind of borrow that instead, as opposed to doing that stuff. So I'm gonna go scavenge up some wire, find out what's next. Alright, so now I did find some wire. It is about a little over a foot. I already checked, it's long enough. Oop, dropped the wire. Pick it. So I crimped the 2 ends on there, and we're going to be inserting those in the number 14 and number 15 slots. And when you're unsure, number 1, it's really hard to see, but on the very top, on the left hand side, there's like a little number 1. Yeah, it won't quite focus very well, but there's a number 1 there. And on the opposite side, it's number 18. And if you look at it, there's literally 2 empty slots on the top. So there's number 14 and 15 right here. So I'm going to push the wires in, and I'm going to run the wire. And I'm going to cross my fingers and start assembling just enough for the head unit, to put the head unit in place. And then I still have to run the power to the camera in the back. And I still have yet decided on what I want to do. But this is where I'm at this point now. Alright, like I said, this is going to take some time. It is indeed nighttime out right now. And I've wired up the camera to the reverse lights, so that way it only powers up through the reverse lights. Although I may end up changing it later on, because I did find out one little blemish, I guess we're going to call it. But for the time being, for the sake, it's hooked up to the reverse lights. I did already test this out, make sure it does work. Everything is working. I'm just going through so this way I can show you guys how to do it. So just to give you guys an idea, there's the My4 Touch. I put it in reverse. Bam, pickup camera. So that's the wife's car that's behind me. And of course it's a little cool outside. I'm also running catless, so it's definitely a little extra steamy out there. So this is the little blemish that I've realized is when you take it out of reverse, it it tells you to please check surroundings for safety, which is it stays on all the time anyways. But then you get this little notification that the camera is unavailable to please contact dealership. It does go away when you go start to drive anyways. So like I said, it's more of like a little blemish. It's it could be ignored, or maybe there's a better way to wire in the camera as far as receiving power to turn on by this. I haven't gotten that far. This is just a kind of like a quick installation video, and it won't go away until you hit OK. But when you hit OK, it goes away. So, but then you put it in reverse, and it's right there. So if I were to drive away right now, it goes away anyways. It doesn't even ask for your camera, blah 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 blah, because it realizes that, hey, I'm gonna drive. So I'm not gonna worry about it for now. So of course you'll need the ELM327 connector. This one apparently you only need high speed to do. Having a high and medium speed is definitely a plus. You can do a little bit more tweaking with a computer inside the car. So keeping this kind of right to the point, what you're going to need to select is the APIM, the module config as built format. Hit the little play button down here. It'll say, changing configurations is potentially not safe. Anything that you do inside here could potentially basically brick your computer. As long as you follow these steps, you shouldn't have any problem. If you change any other steps, don't hold me responsible, because I'm only showing you what's really necessary to do. Hit OK. And now the top code here, as you see, yours won't be like this one here. We'll change it back to factory settings, just for the sake, so you can see what it actually looks like. It's exactly this right here. You'll see 2130 6105 CO50. So we'll write the original one back to the car. It says that please cycle the ignition off and then back on. We'll comply. Also, when you do this, the My4 Touch will go blank. That's fine, that's completely normal. It'll reboot itself, but we're going to follow the instructions. We're going to turn it off. So, car's off. Obviously, I haven't even gotten the car fully put back together. So, you could do this while the vehicle's running or not. I've been doing this for a little bit for some time, and I killed the battery, so I had it on charger while I was doing all the other necessary wiring. What I ended up doing is I ended up cutting out one of the license plate taillights, and I wired in the camera right to it directly. So instead of having that extra socket that could potentially corrode, yada yada, I soldered the wires directly, and then I heat shrinked them. I think it was the best way of doing it, quite honestly. So that's what I did. And so now every time I turn my lights on, it turns on as normal. So that takes care of that issue. For the camera, I already said that I had it powered up through the reverse lights, so that's all taken care of. So now that everything is all said and done, we're going to go right back to here. And as you can see in FORScan, these are your factory settings. It's on the very top row. It's the only ones that you have to play with. So we'll turn the ignition on. Actually, I'll even start it up again, because I've been running this a little dry on the battery power. So, all right, as you can see, now I put it in reverse. Original one would take usually just a couple seconds. That's just the way they work. My Ford Touch, 2 sucks. So as you can see, it's in reverse. Nothing's powering up. Okay, so go back into the settings here. Instead of saying 2130, we're going to change it to 2330. And we're going to change this last one to a number 2. And we're going to rate it. Takes obviously just a second. My Ford Touch again has gone, into restart mode. Again, it tells me to cycle the car off and then back on. So again, we'll comply. Turn it off. As you see, my Ford Touch is now rebooting itself. So sync is now rebooting. Of course, it seems to take like forever. I wish I had, my Ford Touch 3, just because of the little cool things that you can do, and also it is a faster, head unit as well. Maybe something to do down in the future. It's, again, one of those things that I would, that out of the 2014 to 2017 models, 16 and 17s end up coming with Sync 3. So now that's completely rebooted, we'll start the car again. So car is now restarted. My Ford Touch says reboot itself, and voila, backup camera. I don't even know if this really necessarily does anything, but it's a little doesn't do it in this particular camera, I guess. I assume it's like a little zoom button, but anyways, I mean, put it back in reverse. The range that you get out of it is pretty good. It gives you the little bars that gives you an idea of how close you're getting to an object or whatever you have going on behind you. So that's all you got to do on the computer side. Is you just got to change it from saying 21306105C050 into 23306105C052. So once you do that in the computer, you've seen it literally takes a couple minutes, maybe at most. So and I'll set the laptop aside real quick, and we'll go with that little blemish thing that I was telling you about. So, alright, so put the car in reverse. Like you see, or backing up, blah, 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 you know. Alright, so yeah, obviously I got really close to the wife's car. Put it in the drive, and away we go. And as you can see, it automatically goes away. So it may bother some people, but for not having this option factory as an option at all, period, for the Fiesta STs, I'll live with it, you know. This whole modification, you know, like I said, cost me for the pins. It cost me it was like $5 and some change. We'll say $6 for that. And the camera that I bought was $25. So all in all, I only have personally $30 into this. Just gonna turn around right here. You know, so $30 invested into this whole modification, other than pretty much a whole lot of time, because I really did spend quite a bit of time doing this. It's like past midnight now, and I've been working on this since I got home, so I guess about 6 hours. And most of it was really trying to troubleshoot something, and it was just my own doing, so it took me way longer than it really should have. I probably would have put this probably around like 3 hours to do, 4 hours some people say it took them to do. So give or take, you know, hey, if you're gonna want to do this one day, just remember, hey, it's gonna take some time. There will be some frustration times, especially when you had to run this wire through the tailgate. The power wire, I didn't run the power wire through with the video cord, you know, the video component cable. So I had that issue going on, and so when I was going to run the power, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, well, I'm gonna run to the reverse lights, and I should have just ran all the wires at once. It would have saved me probably another half hour, 40 minutes of running just those cables, and that's just through the tailgate only. That consumed a lot of my time. So with that kind of being said, you know, is it worth it? Oh hell yeah. I'm so happy to have a backup camera, because I'm used to driving bigger vehicles, so knowing where the back of the car is, because you can't really see out the little rear window very well, and the mirrors do pretty good. Obviously I've had this car for over 3 years, and this is I guess you could say my very first electronic interior modification slash somewhat exterior, and I'm very happy with it. You know, I was scouring when I first bought the car about getting a rear view camera, and obviously a lot of the stuff was not available at the time, so couldn't do that. And some of the kits you see online and stuff like that, it's plug and play, they say, and you know, it really is plug and play. The only downside is it's $500, and I don't know about you, but that's an awful lot of money. You know, granted, if you have money, you're still gonna have to do majority of this work exactly the same. The pins, you only have to add them to the connector, and that was another problem too. One of the pins apparently didn't seat just good enough, and I probably spent an hour and a half just trying to figure out, why am I not getting any power? Or, you know, I'm getting power to the camera, but why am I not getting any video feed? Thinking, okay, maybe the wires are backwards that go to the back of the radio. To be honest, I haven't seen anywhere on the forums, let alone know exactly which one is which. So if you that little short, you know, you can't really see, but here, let me turn the light on. Yeah, you still really can't see, but you know, in the glove box area where the wire came up short, actually I'm very glad it came up short there, because I was able to put the connectors in the back and have a long enough cable to come down into there, and also find out which one is which. You know, is this one or this one? It's a 50-50 shot. You know, if it's not one way, you just try swapping them, try it again. Maybe this is kind of like a troubleshooting as well, you know, to do this installation. And I mean, here it is. You know, it's been all that time, and I have a rear view camera. I'm so happy. I know 17 and newer models come with this factory. Yeah, right from the get-go, it's mandatory in the States. They have rear view camera on all the vehicles. So, and just to have that little something, you know, is just an awesome thing. It makes having this car even better, you know, just because of that simple little thing. So I will put in the description all the stuff that I have used, and you will, you know, or may need. You know, like I forgot to tell you that these are a T20. You know, there's 4 screws that hold the monitor slash head unit piece in that you need to take off in order to plug the little wires in. So, oh, and I guess just because there's now little settings for your vehicle for the camera settings, and you can turn them on or off. You know, if you don't like them, okay, now they're off. Put it in reverse, and they're still there. Okay, well, these ones don't move, they're stationary. So, rear view camera delay. Oh, it's delay. I thought it was the freaking stripes. Whatever. Rear view camera delay. So no on that one. So, alright, so it's instant. Hey, I just realized something. Never mind. Scratch that little freaking thing that I told you about, a blemish, because it's now gone. And I did it all because I'm recording and showing you guys. I'm like, ah, cool, check out this little setting you gotta go on here. So yeah, camera settings, as long as you keep it off, no delay. I never even read the fact that it says rear camera delay. Alright, yeah, you keep the delay off, and it's just, there it is, and it's gone. Alright, that just even made it, doing this doing the video on this one even better. So let's see here. I got the manual for the camera, and I know it doesn't do the justice, you know, of what kind of camera it is. You know, it does have specs about the camera inside here, but I don't know if this means anything to anybody, or if you can even read it. So, like I said, I'll put in the description what camera was used, and also the tools that were used in the process of doing this install. And actually, I have the box for the camera right outside, so let's go. Probably one of the worst, you know, crappiest times of doing it. So CCD, whatever that really may mean, you know, video camera, digital video camera, some more of the little specs that were on the box. Of course, like I said, it's a little dewy outside, so the box is a little wet. So it doesn't even have the model on there. Let's see. It's got a SKU number on here. I don't know if that matches anything, you know, from like eBay or anything like that, but anyways, that's what that was from. And let me grab, I'll show you here. So I probably should have put it on the left hand side, but I wanted it to be a little bit more centered, but the camera really doesn't do it justice. I have a really super bright LEDs. Well, I had 2 of them, you know, one on each side. So that one is obviously way brighter because it's a super bright LED, but, you know. Let's try to pull some of that glare. So yeah, that's right where the camera sits. And I don't have a key on me, so the door's locked. So So that's how you do it. That's all you do. And let me pull this out. So that's the one I'm using, you know, the ELM config compatible, 500 kilobytes a second. It's got a high speed and medium speed. It's set up by a toggle switch. You know, up is for the high, down is for the medium speed, but you don't need medium speed in order to do this. You only need just a high speed. So, and that just plugged right in the laptop. You'll need FORScan, and you'll need the extended license in order to do it. The extended license is for the most part free. You just got to go to their website and request one, and they sent me one immediately. It didn't take long to generate one, so very happy with that. Very pleased. Especially, you know, thank you guys from FORScan for. I mean, I've used you guys before to get rid of my shift light, and no more shift light, and that was a very nice thing to have. Is no more shift light, because it annoys the living piss out of me. So yeah, you'll need a laptop, FORScan, the extended license, ELM connector. If you don't have one, they're about $30. So if you don't have one and you want to do this install, so you're boasting it up to about $60. Again, 60 bucks. Whoopie-doo. So, and then last but not least, I think I already mentioned, yeah, I already did mention that about the clips. I still got to retrieve the one that's still stuck inside there, and I did lose one. Ford Motor Company, according to the forum people, say that they are only $11. You get 8 of them. So, I mean, if you lose them, I wouldn't go crying home about it, because $11, I think 5 in there is going to hold it just as good, even though 6 actually holds the whole thing in place. So, I hope you guys really liked the video. I know it wasn't showing every single step by step, but if I did that, this video would be super long, you know, and who wants to watch a super long video? I mean, this video is already going to be like half hour or so long anyways, but that's how you do it. I hope you guys liked it. You know, if you liked the video, if you want to see more videos of cool little things I do with the Fiesta, you know, hit the subscribe button, man. You know, like it, subscribe it, share it. You know, if you know other people have Fiestas and stuff like that, and they're looking to do a couple little tweaks like I did, hey, share it to them too. So until next time, guys, thanks for watching. Bye.